Hello everybody, back again for some more stuff, and today I'm driving back from Cammy's place, and I have a lot to tell you about, right? But also, here's the deal. Also, I have some new stuff to tell you about. Oh, my mom just texted me. Cool. So I am gonna drive home. Sorry. I should have figured this out before and I'm gonna open my cookie thing. But I have reason to want to get home quickly. I'm like excited. Sorry, how do I open this? My cookies. Please open! That worked. These are Biscoff cookies that I got. Alrighty. So, for my stir fry, right? I guess I should read this before I go. Oh, I don't wanna. Okay. I will. I'll tell you Pegwins about the stir fry. You Pegwins, you! So, okay. Let me tell you about it. I'm in line for my final stir fry at Oxy ever. Cammy asks how I feel. I say hesitant. This is a rated R peg. Okay, guys? I see those two fuckers in the yellow bowl sitting out. You'll remember that the yellow bowl means they're going to put the noodles into the yellow bowl and then put that into the pan, even though that gives you almost no noodles. So, I'm just sad. The next note I have is the music that plays when you beat Peggle. I played that last time. So I asked for tofu, onion, and double broccoli. The mushrooms were different this time, and they looked a little thick for the dish that they're going in, so I didn't want them. It really took forever to get my food, but they mixed my stuff really well and made sure that everything cooked, like made sure nothing was just sitting on the top. The noodles were in the yellow bowl, but I was sick, so I wasn't super duper hungry, right? I wasn't super duper hungry at the time. And because of that, it was okay that I didn't get, like, the most food ever, I'm gonna eat a cookie now. The flavors are melting on my tongue. I'm going. Okay. So yeah. Basically, I had a really good send-off. It was a great last stir fry. I thought it was emblematic that, like, I got double stir. Oh, wait. Y'all, I have a picture. To show of the broccoli. I got so excited about the amount of broccoli that they were giving me that I took a picture of it. I took a picture of the broccoli. So, I took a picture of what my stir fry looked like, so that, like, I was sending it to Kai. I was like, Kai, oh my god, the Holy Grail. Look at all the broccoli I've received. So that was really cool. So yeah, I pulled you up from that cliff. Now I can talk about what I want to talk about. And what I want to talk about is why I'm so excited today. Basically, I love Super Smash Bros. Melee. And I also love other platform fighters. I love Smash Bros. Type of game. But just none of them are even close to as awesome as Melee, It's just the best one. It's the best video game that has ever been made, bro. And so basically, I'm Monkey. And so basically, a monkey. Basically, my willingness to play other games and undying love for Melee specifically puts me in a very perfect position to really enjoy fan mods of Melee, right? Like, if you add cool stuff to Melee, there's just cool stuff on top of my favorite game. And I like other platform fighters, so I'm not like a Melee purist, you know? I'm not like, oh, this isn't like normal Melee. I won't play it. So, I in particular really, really like fan mods of Melee. And they don't come around that often. And the reason they don't come around that often is because, they like require a lot of work. And Nintendo really, really dislikes modding of like Melee in general. So you'll never get any like real like props for it, you know? And like not that many people are gonna play it. And in addition, like it's so much harder than just modding a different game. So like Brawl, the game that came out after Melee on the Wii, the one that you played on the Wii when you were a kid. If you're a Penguin that I know in real life, that game has a mod for it called Project M, and the M stands for Melee. Basically, it makes Brawl play like Melee. It's awesome. It's one of the best video games ever made. I think if I had to pick one game to play for the rest of my life, it might be Project M. Because it takes like the awesome story mode of Brawl and the like big character roster, but it plays more like Melee. Now, I like Melee more. I think it has some like, there are some things about Melee that I love so much that like Project M would never overtake it, even though it has all this extra stuff. But like if I had to play one game forever, the bigger character roster and the single player, like, you know, they might make me have to pick it over a game I like more. But anyway, wait, what if it was Fortnite? Because Fortnite's like basically a different game every week. You know? So maybe if I could only play one game for the rest of my life, it would be Fortnite. But if it didn't get patched, then it wouldn't be. But anyways, okay. So, Project M already exists. So adding characters into Project M, instead of creating a mod for Melee, is like exponentially easier. Like 1,000 times easier. So when people make custom characters for Smash, they just make them for Brawl. Or for Project M, sorry. So when we get a mod for Melee with like a new character, it's something really special. It's something really wonderful. Especially when they're high quality, right? And I don't know how many years ago now, but I think during COVID, so maybe 2021, maybe 2020. No, it couldn't have been 2020. Maybe 2021, or I think. This team comes out of the woodwork, right? And they announce on Twitter, hey guys, we're Team Akaneiapeg, A-K-A-N-E-I-A, Akaneia. I think that's how you pronounce it, I don't know. And basically, they were saying, we're going to create a mod for Melee. This mod is going to keep everything the same. It's the same Melee you know and love. But we're going to add characters to the game. And we're going to strive to basically create what Melee would be if it had a longer development time. So they're going to create characters that are very, very in line with the rest of the cast, right? So they're not going to add anything that's like too crazy, you know? They're not going to have somebody that like shoots lasers that does like, that do a ton of damage and like blah, blah, blah. Like, the character that's going to be added is going to fit along with the rest of the cast. Like, theme-wise and like how they play and how strong they feel. That was their goal when they set out. And so, you know, they added some trophies, which are like collectibles that you just look at, which is like, why did you spend time on that? But it just shows that they have like a real undying love for the whole game of Melee, not just like the competitive side, but they have a love for the whole thing. They added trophies and stuff, and then they announce it. They're bringing back, or they're bringing not back, but they're adding Wolf to the game. What? Now, this was like the first time that we got a true custom character ever. People have made custom characters before, but they like had to replace other characters on the screen, like on the character select screen, and like they had to use all the same moves and animations of other characters. And you could like tweak numbers, right? Like you could make it so that this move does like this much more damage or this much less damage, and it sends this much farther. And this time it lights, like it does the fire effect when it hits, even though that doesn't really do that much. So, you know, there were like silly little like mods that just changed the properties of moves. But this was the first time that we ever had a mod where a completely new character model was imported into the game. They were given their own spot on the screen, on the character select screen, and all of their moves were completely unique to them, right? And adding Wolf is like especially cool because Fox and Falco from Star Fox are like the two main like faces of Melee, I would argue. They're like the main guys, the space animals, the spaceys we call them. So, adding Wolf is like, oh, sick, a third Spacey. Like, the two most fun characters in the game are the Spaceys, and now we have a third one, and he's, like, different from the first two. So when he came out, he was just the coolest thing I've ever seen. Like, man, he's one of the most fun characters I've ever played. They made it so, like, you know, he's a wolf. So his, like, up air is he does a swipe with his claw, like, up. So, like, if you take your left arm and you point it straight to the right, and then you do, like, a big sweep over your head with your hand in, like, a claw position, and the claw is pointing up. Like, if you just do that real quick so you understand what that move is, right? The way that they did that move was that if he hit you with his hand, then it would be, like, a weaker hit. And if he hit you with his claws, then it would be a stronger hit. So, what you would do is while they were low percent, you would aim to hit with the claws. And then, like, you would do that 3 maybe times-ish. And then it would send them too far if you hit with the claws. So you would just hit with your hand instead of the claws. And you would just go, like... And it makes a different noise. So it makes, like a shh, like a cutting kind of shh sound on the claws. And then it goes, like... as, like, a hit when you hit with the hand. So you go, like... shh, 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 psh, 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 and then you would kill him. And it was so much fun. Like, it just, like... It hit me like crack cocaine, dude. I still miss doing wolf, like, 4 or 5 up airs in a row, but you have to, like, aim them differently. Just, like, truly, just so much fun. Just so much fun. And he was broken when they added him. Like, they tried to make him of equal power, like I was saying before, and they failed miserably. He was so powerful. It was amazing. Like people were... He obviously was never going to be allowed in competition. But just because it's like, what content are we going to make about this fighting game? People, of course, were making, like, tier lists and stuff. And they were saying, like, how strong is Wolf? Blah, blah, blah. How well does Wolf do into all the matchups? Like, we'll do a tier list of what characters Wolf beats and what characters Wolf loses to. And the tier list always just ended up being, Wolf beats everyone. Wolf is the best character in the game. Like, he was so powerful. And he was awesome, too. He had a costume where, like... Because I don't know if you guys know about Star Fox, but... They all have metal legs. And so... There was one skin where his, like, jacket was a cool color, and his boots, his, like, metal boots were brown. And it's just, like, the coolest outfit I've ever seen. It was just so cool, man. It was so awesome. I mean, just wonderful. Just wonderful. He looked so cool. He was, like, super overpowered, right? But he was really fun to play as. And if the other guy also picked Wolf, it was really fun. Like, the Wolf versus Wolf matchup was really enjoyable. So just awesome. Like, also, you couldn't, like, because there's like a matchmaking thing on Melee Online, on Slippy, where you just boot up and click it, and it matches you against someone else. But you can't do that for this mod. Because it's not like a vanilla copy of Melee. That doesn't mean it's not legal, right? You can rip the disc and then modify the file that you have. But because it's not the right, like, disc type... Oh, that's actually not true. That was the whole thing with Akanea, is you could play it online even though it wasn't the right disc type. Or the right file type, I should say. That was the whole thing. It was just that if you click Wolf, it says, like, can't queue, or, like, can't match up against people. Because Wolf isn't, like, in the game. So you might queue against people that don't have Wolf. And then it would just, like, crash. So it stops you from queuing. Which means that you have to go online and find one individual other person that wants to play Akanea with you. And that was pretty fun, right? Especially at the height of it, when everybody's, like, really excited to play. Everyone's, like, super hyped about Wolf. So, there were tons of people to play with, but you had to organize a session. And you'd be like, hey, does anybody want to play on the West Coast? And then someone else would be like, yeah, I'll play. And then you would queue up together, and you would play, and you'd be like, wow, that was so awesome, Wolf is so strong, like, did you see that combo I did, like, blah, 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 or like, wow, you really got me with, like, this, like, that was so cool, like, I'd never seen that before. And it was so much fun. It's like a highlight of gaming, like a moment in gaming for me. It's like, if you imagine, or I guess you don't have to imagine, this is like what it's like when a new, like, game comes out for people, and they're like, wow, this is such an awesome video game. But for me, it was just like a mod of Melee that added one guy. Then they kind of updated it, and they nerfed him a lot to bring him in line with all the other Melee characters. And, like, I miss him. I miss him so much. I miss the original Wolf. I miss him so bad. He was so strong and so fun. he still has all the same stuff. It just, like, isn't as powerful. Like, it doesn't link, it doesn't combo into each other. Like, his moves don't combo as well as they did before, and they removed some of his kill power. Like, you know, he's still a very strong character, but he's not as, like, completely destructive and fun as he used to be. So, you know, I miss him, but it's fine. So then there was radio silence for a long time, and we were like, man, like, when are we going to get some more stuff? But finally the next update comes out, and they add Diddy Kong and Charizard. And it's just so awesome, man. It's so awesome. They're both relatively weak characters, I think. Like, I don't know. They're maybe, like, mid-tiers. But the thing about Melee is that it's very top-heavy. So the best characters are vastly stronger than the characters in the middle of the pack and the characters at the bottom. Like, Fox, Falco, Marth, Sheik. These characters are, like, light years ahead of characters like Mario, Luigi, Samus, Pikachu, right? That's not to say that Pikachu, Samus, Mario, Luigi, they can't win. It's not to say that at all. It's just that, like, the top tiers are very strong. I'm getting tailgated. Luckily, I was merging. Oh, now that's motorcycle. That's not motorcycle. Their car sounds like motorcycle. It's like a old Honda. Man, everybody's going really fast. I guess I don't usually drive at this time. But whatever. But yeah, like, Charizard is probably somewhere similar in strength to, like, Samus and Diddy Kong. Samus and Mario and Luigi. Like, Charizard is probably around there in strength. And I have no idea where Diddy Kong lies. Because when this update came out... Oh my god, I totally forgot to tell you guys about something else that came out when an Akaneiapeg got first launched. But when Diddy Kong and Charizard came out, there was not nearly as much hype around it. So we didn't see, like, the top players trying to find all the, like, strongest strategies and stuff with these characters. And as such, you know, like, it's hard to gauge how powerful these characters are. Because Melee is a very, very difficult game. And it's possible that, like, someone with just, like, a higher skill level than me could have made Diddy Kong work. But I couldn't. I couldn't get Diddy Kong to work. He was so whack. Like, in Brawl onwards. So, the games are, like, Smash 64 and Melee are 1 and 2, and then there's Brawl, Smash 4, and Smash Ultimate as 3, 4, and 5 in the series. The third game in the series, Brawl, after Melee, added a state called tripping. So, like, you can trip on Diddy Kong's banana, or if someone hits you at really low percent, there's a chance that you'll trip and fall over. That didn't exist in Melee. So Diddy Kong's banana doesn't make people fall over and trip in the same way that it does in, like, Brawl when it's happening in Melee. Sorry, I'll rephrase that so it's better. They've added Diddy Kong, who has a banana throwing move. In Smash Bros. Brawl, Smash 4, and Smash Ultimate, this banana, when it hits someone, causes them to trip and fall over. In Melee, there's no tripping animation. It doesn't exist for any character. And as such, Diddy Kong's banana move being added into this game does not cause characters to trip. And resultingly, you can't really play Diddy Kong with the same strategies that you can in the other games. And that makes it, like, even harder to figure out what you're supposed to do with Diddy Kong. Because, like, it feels like you have to use his items and stuff, like the banana peel and the peanuts that he has, but they're like really hard to figure out how to use, because they're just not as powerful as they were in future games. Actually, I think the peanut might be better, but it's hard to tell, right? But that being said, I have loved getting to play Charizard and Diddy Kong. I played a good bit of Charizard. Like, I was really trying to get good at Charizard. I had a lot of fun, like, practicing him and, like, kind of pushing the limits, like, seeing if there were, like, cool combos you could do, if you could react really fast. Seeing, like, if I could, instead of trying to react, like, guess where they were going to be, you know? And, like, I'll take a 1 in 3 chance to hit a move and then do a big kill. And I would, like, experiment with which one was better. Like, react for more consistent but less powerful damage, or, like, try to guess for, like, way more damage. And, like, I was trying all my big tail moves to see, like, which ones were the best for, like, hitting people from far away. And, like, which one got me the most reward. I like, so much fun. So much fun. I'm, like, beaming thinking about this. Just so much fun playing Charizard. I could never get Diddy Kong to work, but Charizard was sick. And so, what I forgot to tell you is that when Akanea came out, it came out with a new mode called Volleyball, where they added volleyball to the game. Like, there's a net in the middle, and you play on either the left or the right, and there's a ball. And you can just attack it with moves, and the ball will fly in the same trajectory that it would if it was, like, a character that you're hitting. So, like, if Falco hits you with a kick, the kick will send you in X direction. And if Falco hits the volleyball with a kick, it will send it in that direction. So you basically have to, like, try to hit the ball to the other side in a way where you can, like, trick the opponent and, like, get them to miss, you know? And it's like in a cage, so it'll bounce off the ceiling and the walls. And that lets you do, like, some cool, like, self-passes. You can hit the ball 3 times and then wait for it to go over. If you hit the ball a 4th time, it explodes and your opponent wins the point. But it was so much fun, because I'm just, like, playing all these melee characters that I, like, have loved for so long, and that I've, like, put so much time and effort into getting good at them. And now I get to play them in, like, a completely new context. So, like, Falco's move that sends opponents straight down now is, like, my spiking move, where, like, if I can guess the exact moment that they're going to hit the ball over the net, I can jump up and spike it down. But if I miss, then, like, the ball could land behind me. You know, it's like an entirely different game, but with this character and in an engine that I love so much. So volleyball was just super cool. I played a ton of volleyball. And you may understand where this story is going, but not the volleyball, but the whole thing. Yesterday at 5 p.m. PST, 8 p.m. EST, there was a new Akanea team trailer. And it starts off, they've added a stage. I think they added maybe 2 or 3, maybe even 4 stages to the game. And these stages are pretty cool, you know? But they've added some stages to the game. And they also had 2 character... Wait, I totally forgot. They added Sonic, too. I forgot about that. They added Sonic and I think Lucas. But I didn't really enjoy either of them. I couldn't get either of them to work. Like, I just couldn't figure them out. I thought they were bad. But I played them and I had fun, you know. It just wasn't as awesome as Charizard or Wolf. I mean, Wolf now, in his nerfed state, I think is still the most fun character that they've added. But man, that first patch of Wolf, oh my gosh. Just absolutely, like... Have you seen that video about the guy that wants the Quaaludes? He's like, just bring back the Quaaludes. He was like an addict, and he's going crazy. Sometimes I feel like that Quaaludes guy on YouTube about about the initial version, the initial release of Wolf in Project Akanea for Super Smash Bros. Melee. Sometimes I feel like the Quaaludes guy. But, they had 2 character reveals yesterday. The first one, King DDD. Ah! Oh my god, I'm so excited! I can't wait to play King DDD. I texted the Melee server, the like huge Melee online Discord server. There's one channel in there that's called like Other Modes, which is for like alternative modes to play in the game. There are no other modes that you can play. It means mods. It means mods. So I messaged that chat, and I pinged one guy that had asked for a match earlier and never got it. And I pinged West Coast. So you can sign up to like be on the West Coast notification list, basically. I said, hey, this one guy or anyone on the West Coast, does anyone want to play me in roughly an hour and a half? Because like I'll be on then. I'm super excited. New Akaneiapeg. And I think someone responded to me right before I drove off, but like, I'm so excited. They added King DDD. He looks so fun. He looks so much fun. I'm so excited to play King DDD. He has the same moveset as he does in Project M, which, as a reminder, is like, they took all the Brawl characters and made them play more like Melee. But like, I think he has the same moveset as like he does in that game. It's like only slightly altered. But that moveset is so fun, and I'm gonna get to play it in Melee. I'm so excited! Ah! And then they also added Tails! They added Tails from Sonic! Eee! And like, I don't know if Tails is gonna be fun, but just like my inner child, man, I loved Tails. Tails was like maybe my favorite fictional character for years. And now he's in freaking Melee. And when he does an up B, which is your recovery move, so like with Mario, he does like an extra big jump. With Luigi, he does an extra big jump. With Donkey Kong, he spins around and like goes up a little bit. With Peach, she like jumps up and does the parasol, you know? These are like the recovery moves. For Tails, he flies up with his tails, and the tails, when they spin, it hurts people. It hurts the enemy if they like get hit by it from behind, from underneath. Like, wow! I'm so excited. I'm just overwhelmed with excitement about these 2 characters being added. Tails, like, I'm probably not gonna like him that much. Just because like I didn't like Sonic. I thought Sonic wasn't very fun. So I don't have that much faith in my love for Tails in this game. But the fact that he's in it is really awesome. And I can't wait to like really try to get him to work, you know? I'm gonna try my best to figure out how to play Tails. But like tonight, I can't promise that I'll play Tails at all. I mean, I definitely will actually, but I am so excited to play King DDD. I'm so excited. I really, really hope that I find someone to play with. But like, even if I don't, I'll just like play by myself. I'll just play against play against a bot that stands still, basically. Because the CPUs in Melee are really bad. Like, they basically don't play. Like, I think that most people could beat the Super Smash Bros. Melee computers with one hand. Like, they're really bad. But I'll still play just to like experiment and try out the characters and stuff. See if I can like figure out what moves are good for comboing. But I'm just so excited, man. I'm gonna have such a good time. And maybe it'll be a Bad Peg episode. Maybe if things work out. If things work out, it'll be a Bat Peg episode. But I'm just super, super excited. So that's my today's situation, right? So let's get back to all the stuff that I have to talk about for the PEGCAST, right? So I talked about my last stir fry. I guess I should talk about the cookies that I'm eating. Maybe I already said this, but every time at the end of the semester at Occidental College, I have too much meal plan money left over. There's just too much of it to finish. And because of that, you have to blow it all at the end on like snacks and stuff. So I bought Takis the first year, you know. This year I bought Biscoff cookies, and these are Biscoff cookie Oreos. So it's like an Oreo, but the Oreo cookie has been replaced with Biscoff cookies that are round. And it's just awesome. It's delicious. So I bought like 3 boxes of that. And then I bought 1 box of Oreos, but really what I spent a lot of my money on, other than the Biscoff cookies, is I bought like, they had glass bottles of Martinelli's apple juice, right? They had glass bottles of Martinelli's apple juice. And, the glass bottles are like shaped like apples, and that's really fun. Oh god, I'm just so excited about King Dedede and Tails, man. I'm so excited to go play. It's like my favorite thing. So, also Cammy and I are getting to like a crazy part of Dragon Ball Z. Like, we're getting to like some of the coolest moments, you know? Basically, we're in the Cell games right now, which is when they're fighting against Perfect Cell, and Goku has just fought Cell and then tapped out and said Gohan is gonna fight next. Like, we got there, you know? So like, things are going crazy. Like, it's time for the Gohan versus Cell fight, which is so cool. Just way too awesome, you know? Yeah, so... Also, I've been reading so much Chikawa. I'm obsessed with Chikawa. I'm not normal about Chikawa. I've been binging. Like, just ham-fisting Chikawa into my friggin' eyeballs. Boom, boom, boom. Love Chikawa. I love Chikawa. Okay, so... yeah, I got these apple juices, right? And normally you'd buy in bulk, and you'd get like a box that's full of snacks, right? So I have like boxes of these Biscoff cookies and a box of Oreos. And like inside the box are like individual packages that you would buy. That they would normally put on the shelf, but you can buy at bulk at the end because they know everybody needs to get rid of their meal plan money. The apple juice did not come like that. The apple juice was individual bottles. So I would just bring my backpack and then fill it. I'd fill it with glass bottles of apple juice, which felt really scary. Like walking across campus with that was not really epic. It is like a 10-minute walk, even though it's almost all the way across campus. So, you know, it's not like super, super bad, but it's certainly frightening. Yeah, I guess, something I forgot to mention about the trip. So I said we went to go get brunch. Well, it's just like, there were a couple things in a row that were like really fun, like ego boosts for me, right? So like we pick up Isaac from the airport, and he says I'm the funniest one, and I was like, nice. And then, this wasn't one of the ones I was originally gonna say, but like, we were talking about like who was gonna be in my car on the ride back, And Phi was like, I have to be in Jack's car. And I was like, nice. And then she turned to me and like kind of sheepishly was like, can I be shotgun again? And I was like, yes, Phi. And I was like, wow, Phi likes me. This is freaking epic. Like, big fan. Love Phi. Glad she feels the same. So that was awesome. Wasn't going to talk about that. What I was going to talk about was right before we went to the Giants game and we were at like that brunch place. We were all sitting there and there was like music playing over the speaker, and I don't know what you would call this, but it's like the music is playing and it's like, you know, there's the melody of the music, and I whistled a melody that was not like the harmony, you know, but just like a different melody using like that song as the backing track. It's like, imagine I played a guitar solo but I whistled it, you know? And I did that, and it ended at the perfect time, and it sounded like perfect. It was just like everything went beautifully. And I don't know music that well, but I have like the ear for it. Like, I have the talent for music. I just haven't done it. Like, I got the talent from my dad, but I just have never put it to use. So it's really cool that I like succeeded at that. And then Isaac, who's a music major, who like his comprehensive assignment, like his capstone, was an album. Like, he had to have an EP. He turns to me and he was like, dude, that was perfect. And I was like, yes, dude. You know, so that was awesome. And then Isaac also was like begging me to play Jackbox, you know. So that was really fun. And then Mika also said that I was like really funny and was just really nice to me. So like, big ego boost trip for me, which was really nice coming off of college, where, you know, there were times where like people would just think I was really weird and like they wouldn't like me. And I really had to reconsider like if I was even like funny or like likable, because like, you know, all of my friends, not a comma. I had all the friends that I had. What the heck? I had all the friends that I had. All of my friends I had been friends with for a very long time. I had met a new friend maybe like twice since beginning high school, right? It was like Cammie was my new friend and Kenzie was my new friend. And that's basically it, you know? Like, I haven't made that many friends since beginning of high school. These are all like elementary school and middle school friends, many of whom were elementary school. So they all like me, but they're also all used to me and have like grown up with me. So when I get to college and everybody just thinks I'm weird and doesn't like me, I'm like, man, like, am I not funny? Do my friends just like me because they've been with me for my whole life and like I'm actually not that likable to new people? Like, is there too much of a barrier? Because the jokes that I make are very funny to my friends, but they know who I am behind the joke. And as such, maybe that's why they don't think I'm so weird. But are the jokes I'm making so weird that if you don't already know who I am, then like you just won't like me? Like, you'll think I'm weird and not like just making a joke and being silly? And like, I had to question myself a bunch during college and be like, man, like, am I doing this right? Am I going to have to like fundamentally change who I am? But it turns out, no. I hung out with this group during the San Francisco trip and they all think I'm super funny and they all like me. So that's pretty nice. Crisis averted. Yeah. So I guess the next thing to talk about is like Marvel Rivals. So I was practicing Marvel Rivals for this tournament. I was reached out to by someone from USC, and they said, hey, we would love to have Occidental College come out and play. Here's the sign-up form. Please let me know if you're going to make it. And I was like, awesome. I will bring this up in my next meeting. It's on Monday, so it'll be in 2 days, I think it was. Like, they messaged me on Saturday, I think. And I'll get back to you as soon as I can with our roster if we have one. So I bring it up at the event, or at the gaming club meeting. We met every Monday, right after Smash Night. I feel like I should document this because I'm leaving now, but like we did Smash Nights every Monday. And after, like, that would start at 7 and it would go to closing basically. And at one point I tried to make it Rivals of Aether, but that didn't stick. I think the problem was that, like, it's harder for them to play Rivals without me if they don't own the game. And a lot of them didn't have PCs to run the game on, so there just wasn't that much incentive for them to buy the game. Like, even if they liked it, it's like, you know, Sean wasn't gonna be playing Rivals of Aether that much because he just didn't have a computer to play it on, even though he really enjoyed it. So, you know, that was tough, but our meetings would start at 9. Really, they started at 9:15 because we had to wait for Amari to show up. He's the president. Love Amari. He's the best. He has a pair of my socks. He has like a really particular way of getting ready at night where, like, he gets out of the shower and he puts on socks after getting out of the shower to walk over to the bed, and then he gets in the bed and takes off the socks and uses those socks the next day. But when he, like, packed for the trip, he accidentally somehow only brought like one pair of socks. So he was like, does anyone have socks I can use? And I was like, yeah, I have one extra pair, you can have them. So he wore my socks, and then I saw him like during senior week. I guess I should explain the timeline, but I saw him during senior week, and he was like, oh, I still have to give you back your socks. And I was like, keep them, remember me. And he thought that was really funny, that I was like, remember me, and gave him like my used socks. Like, they're old, man, they're dirty. They're like not dirty, but they're stained, you know, from dirt. Like, they have brown stains on them. Because I'll wear them with Crocs, and then sometimes there'll just get some dirt in the Crocs because there was like a part of Oxy's campus where it was really like, there's a bunch of dirt. And because of that, they would stain. My socks would stain. Like, underneath my heel, it would like turn brown permanently, like even after washing them thoroughly. So he has those. They're not like super brown, they're just like a little bit browned. I got white socks for my Japan trip because, like, you have to take off your socks when you go inside, you know? And so I don't want to like have really dirty socks. I feel like it'll be embarrassing. It'll be embarrassing if I have really gross socks. I forgot that I was supposed to leave earlier so I could stop by the grocery store and grab a couple things. Oops. Anyways, so basically the way that the timing worked out for this is we have like our last day of classes, then we have finals week. No, sorry. We have the last day of classes, which is Tuesday. So our last days are Monday and Tuesday. Then we have reading week. Our reading week is 2 days long. So Wednesday and Thursday is reading week, where you prepare for finals. Finals then begin on Friday. So you take finals Friday, Saturday and Sunday are a break, and then Monday through the next Friday is like the main week of finals. We left for our trip on Thursday, which I don't think is a finals day. I'm pretty sure it's a reading week day. Like, it's Monday, Tuesday classes, Wednesday, Thursday reading week. But it's possible that Thursday was a finals day. I'm pretty sure it was reading week though. So we leave on that Thursday for our trip, And then we get back on Tuesday? Well, I guess I can count. So we leave Thursday, right? That's day 1. Day 2 is Discord. Day 3 is Giants. And day 4 is go home. So that's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We go home. So then Monday is my first day back. Is that right? Yeah, because I had work. Because I went to work at the bookstore on Monday. So that's correct. But I actually didn't go to work because I was sick. I had the sickness. So I just tried to study on that Monday, and I failed miserably to study because I was sick. And then on Tuesday, I took my last final, and I opened all my notes because it was a take-home open note exam, but it's difficult. It's like what this professor does. He gives you really hard but very fair tests that are just like, do you have a really good understanding of everything we talked about? But it's open note, it's open internet. If you can, like, you're not supposed to use the internet, but you can use the internet to, like, remind you of specific parts or, like, clarify. As long as you give answers that are in line with what was gone over in class, then you're golden. So, you know, you can, like, look up, oh, what is, like, this? And it'll say, like, oh, this is, like, a staining technique that, like, focuses on XYZ. And you're like, cool, that's too much detail, but it helps me understand what I'm, like, reading about in my notes right now. And then you can kind of use that. Also, he has lecture videos, because he does all the lectures on Zoom in case you get sick. He primarily teaches to the class, but, like, he does have Zoom open. And he records them and then leaves the lecture recordings up. And you can use those on the test. And you can search in the lecture recording because it, like, auto-transcribes it. So you can, like, Control F, like, whatever word you want. And then you can find where he was talking about what he was talking about. So, like, I've had moments where I learn about what I'm supposed to be answering. So, like, it asks me a question, and then I find it in the lecture, and, like, through the lens of the question, I'm able to understand, like, the content better, which is really cool. But point is, it's hard, especially when I'm sick, and I have to do relatively well to get an A, and it's my understanding at this point that in order to make summa cum laude, which I'm not super pressed about, but it would be cool, in order to make summa, I would have to get an A. That was my understanding at the time. Kai made fun of me for this later. It was not the case. I probably could have gotten, like, a C or a D and it would have been okay. I already said that on the PEGCAST, but, you know, it's just really funny. So, yeah. That's that. And yeah. Also, it's bald summer, everybody. It's bald girl summer right now. So, I'm going bald. And that's because when I'm in Japan, it's going to be really humid. And I'm not wearing, like, a baseball cap in that. Like, I'm just not doing it. So, I'm gonna, like, be bald so that I can try to get rid of, like, my really bad farmer's tan. And then it, like, I'll just be bald in Japan. That's the plan. Yeah, so, yeah. What am I saying? Like, why did I bring up being bald? It's because I was thinking about Melee with a face cam. But that's like an errand thought. Like, I didn't bring that up. What was I talking about? Dude, what was I just talking about? This is unreal. I was saying, I feel like, okay, I talked about the San Francisco trip. Then I didn't get to Marvel Rivals, even though I said that that's what I was talking about. I was talking about my final. So I finished my final, and then, that's the end of that. Oh, I gotta get over one. Okay. So I finished my final, and then, that's on Tuesday. So then there's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I work on Friday. I decide not to call out sick because I'm like feeling pretty much better. And I work on Saturday. And on Saturday, I have a shift with Alexandra. And we had a really long talk about a bunch of queer stuff. And that was fun. We talked about how she's gay. I can't air this out. We talked about like her stuff and like her relationships and whatnot. We talked about her experiences. But that was like really fun. And she's very, very like kind and intelligent and just like super cool. So it was like the best shift I have ever had at the bookstore, and it was my last one. It especially helped that it was a weekend shift. And it being a weekend shift meant that it was just Alexandra and I there. And what that means is that Donna was not there, and there was not that much pressure to do anything. So, these are all good things. So it was just like super fun. And so that's Saturday. And then the next week is called Senior Week. And basically, it's just a celebratory week for the seniors in between finals and graduation. So, also I got a high enough score on my stat test that I was just telling you about that, these lights are out. These stoplights are out. These traffic lights are not working. And it's not like they're like wrong, like the street lights are out too, like it's dark. So they put like stop sign things. Oh, it's like multiple blocks of all of the street power is out. Wow, this is really interesting. Okay. Sorry, I was just like asking that person if they were turning on like their turn signal, because they weren't driving. So I was like, "Are you gonna turn?" And they were like, "Oh," and they just drove. Yeah, SAR. Senior week was like celebration week, but all the events were basically like, we're gonna have this party, parentheses, you go day drinking, and then we're gonna have this party, parentheses, you go day drinking. So it was basically day drinking week for most of the people. There was senior formal, but I didn't go because like I wasn't gonna go to senior formal. Like, are you kidding me? Other than that, it was really just gaming week for Kai and I. And we had the Marvel Rivals tournament on Tuesday? Was it on a Tuesday? It was on Tuesday because we could have gone Monday to get the stuff. Okay. It was on a Tuesday at USC. And what that meant was during all of finals week, basically, like while we were not studying for finals, like I was done with them. I think mostly everybody is done with them once you get to the latter half of finals week. So it's just Kai, or like me, Kai, Emma, Morgan, Isaac, and Jimmy. We're just gaming. And like, I was already buddies with Isaac from the year prior. This is basically how I got close with Emma and Morgan. Like really, we had already become really like good friends, and it was obvious that we all liked each other from playing Marvel Rivals before. But like, this week really, really solidified it. We had so much fun. Like, these are people that I will be friends with forever. Like, they're so funny. They're so much fun to hang around. Like, they're just great people. And, I guess I didn't tell you about, I probably already told this on the PEGCAST, but when I tried to find people to join the tournament, it was a little difficult because I only have seniors as, like, potential gamers, right? I can't have, like, anyone that's not a senior, basically, because if they're not a senior, they're gonna leave, because this tournament is during our senior week, so it's after finals. They're parked in the mid. I can't park. I'm always so careful not to park like that for them. I wonder who it was. Maybe it was, like, not Steve. In which case, I would not be annoyed. But if it was Steve, then I would be annoyed. And I won't find out until tomorrow. But yeah, so I, like, tried to find people, and I got Emma, Morgan, Kai, and Jimmy, and these are all, like, really, really strong players, right? Like, they hit, like, some of the higher ranks in the game. Well, Kai hadn't when I asked him to join the team, but it was obvious that he could have, and then he did. He, like, climbed super, super fast up the ranks. I'm parking, by the way, so the PEGCAST is, like, ending. Awesome. I'm parked well enough. Yeah, this is fine. It's good, actually. I don't know why I'm saying fine. But, yeah, so I find those people, and then I'm like, is there anyone else? I ask a couple people. They're like, I'm not going to be in town. Sorry. And I find Isaac, who is, like, you know, obviously not the same caliber of player as the rest of the people I asked. Just by rank, like, not the same caliber. But we need people, otherwise we're not going to get to play. And Kai is like, don't you think it's so cool? Like, we're going to go to a LAN tournament, like a we're all sitting next to each other tournament, and we're all going to play. Like, don't you think that's the coolest thing ever? Like, you have to play. And I was like, oh, well, if Kai really, really wants me to play, then I have to play. Like, it's so sweet. It's like it's our thing, you know? Like, Kai wants to game with me so bad. Like, who would I be to say no? So, I joined as the 6th player to fill because the team did not have enough players. Let me see. No, these people, they played without me. Maybe they'll still want to play. But yeah, so I decided to play with Kai, and so I joined the team, and I practiced a bunch with them, and I basically learned this game, like, for the tournament, you know? Everybody comment below, who do you think I'm gonna have more fun with, King DDD or Tails? Comment below. Yeah, so I entered, and then I practiced a bunch. I learned the game. I learned how to play Cloak and Dagger, and I made some friends, and I had a wonderful time. It reminded me of, like, playing Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl 2, which is really funny, but basically, like, how this game and that game went for me is, like, I just super grinded the game. Like, I got as good as I could in, like, as fast an amount of time as I could. And then I went to a tournament for Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl 2. It was online, though. And then when the tournament ended, I quit the game. I quit the game forever. And Marvel Rivals is very similar. I will play it sometimes, like, just to play with that group of people, but, like, if I was picking what game to play, I would never pick Marvel Rivals ever again. Anyways, guys, that's going to be the end of this episode. Like, subscribe, do all that great stuff, and yes, goodbye. Hey guys, my throat's a little dead because I haven't had water in a while, and my fan has been on because it's dry. I've been playing Akaneiapeg for the last 3 hours. Yeah, last 3 hours about I played, just under, and all that stuff I said about Diddy Kong, just not true. There is tripping, and Diddy Kong makes you trip when he hits you with his banana. What was difficult was like, it goes away really fast, and it like doesn't hit you the same way in midair. I don't know, man. And the peanuts are definitely not better in this game. They're definitely not. Just everything I said about Diddy Kong was wrong. He's also like quite good and very easy to play. So it's just everything I said was wrong. But I just wanted to provide you with some closure on the Coming to Blow. So if you... Also, I didn't record a video, but I wanted to provide you some closure on the Coming to Blow. If you have not commented down below yet, pause the video and comment below. I found myself liking Tails more. He's so much fun. DDD is quite fun, but the problem is that like he's just really slow. They made him like slower and stronger than he is in the other games, but with the same moves. They just made them slower and stronger. So he's very fun, but he's very fun, but I liked Tails so much. Tails was very fast and very unique. Yeah, guys, bye. Good night for me. It's probably not good night for you. Bye. If it is, good night. Bye-bye.